Hello, everyone. My name is Shashank Kumar Shankar, and I'm part of the AirTime team, and our product name is called Relay. Uh, to begin with, I want to talk about briefly on the new and upcoming audio-based social media platforms, and what are the problems which people face when they're creating audio content. So the new form of social media these days is podcasting and Clubhouse audio spaces and Twitter spaces, and things like these are the new social media platforms. And some of the moderators, the content creators of these face problems like editing some of these audios, distributing them, engaging them, and trying to hopefully monetize them. And they want to make sure that this audio content reaches the most number of listeners, and they want to make sure that it's super easy to um, uh, have like an easy to use mobile based application to edit the audio and publish them all in one single mobile application. Currently, none of that exists as an easy to use kind of application in the market. And our product vision is to develop a product which would democratize the audio content creation space so that creators could create audio, publish it to multiple creation platforms like Spotify, YouTube, or any of those, and hopefully to add monetization as well, and thereby bringing in more audio content creators into the audio social media market. So that's like our product vision. And how are we going to achieve this is to begin with by making sure that the mobile application which we're developing as part of this project is super easy to use. So most of the current audio creation space are extremely technical in nature, where the creators have a very massive setup of audio editing, publishing it and distributing it using different applications. So we want to make sure it's all super easy to use in like a mobile application where the user would not have to worry about how to set these up, and they could just use their mobile phone to start creating content. And so the barrier to entry into the audio market is super easy. And we want to the other thing which mobile kind of provides is powerful SDKs. So just like how, for example, Instagram had like all these filters which users could add onto their images. Similarly, we want to use these SDKs provided by the mobile application to mobile platforms to enhance their audio. So so now that uh, the now that the content creators have their audio, we want to make sure that once they're easily created, we want to make sure that we would provide like a platform to upload them to all these audio hosting platforms. So we want to provide like a multi-platform integration where users would be able to, the content creators would be able to import the content and then distribute it to all these platforms in a single app. So once they finish the audio, edited it, now they would want to publish it at like in like a shotgun fashion to all these platforms by the click of a button. So they would want to use that inside our product, and the listeners of these audio content would then be able to catch up on these live sessions or podcasts on these platforms like YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, and whatnot. So along with these, we want to provide like interactive content to the audio. So let's say in one of these conversations where inside this audio chat house, if the speakers are talking about a specific car, maybe the listener who is listening to this would like to see the car. So we want to add capabilities where we could publish in like thumbnails inside the audio. So if they're listening to the audio and they would want to see which car, going back to the example the speakers are talking about, they could flip over their phone and just like how we visualize like thumbnails in Spotify or like content in YouTube, they could see the image of the car which the content creator is talking about. So as a platform, as a product, we would be able to provide that in the interactive content. And along with this, we could also add like links if we are talking about a certain if the audio being spoken about is about a certain article on a news, we could link those specific news platforms inside the audio, so that again listeners would click on it and go to the actual article, so thereby making the whole audio experience more interactive. Lastly, but not the least, we want to make sure we add more monetization revenues for the content creators. So one typical way is to insert ads between the audio. So let's say, again, going back to the car example, if two people are talking about a specific car, maybe we could, the content creator is interested in publishing a certain advertisement on a car. So while the audio between these two conversations is going on, we would provide a capability to add those inside the audio, so that when the listeners are listening, they would hear this audio. So thereby adding a whole stream of ad revenue so that the content creators can make some monetary benefit out of their content. Along with this, we can also provide capabilities like subscriptions or donation buttons and things like that. Now, going to the acquisition and the monetization, how would we be able to acquire new customers is we would continue to run advertisements through the landing page until the MVP is developed. Once the MVP is developed and released into various app stores, we would start doing social media promotions and giving out swags. So that way, when people hear that, okay, this specific application is sending out swags, they would download it and start using it. Once the MVP is completely released, and we want to go with the next level of acquisition strategy, where we would run tutorial blogs about how to use the specific tool or referrals. And we would also pair up with evangelists in the audio space, like existing content creators, and talk to them and ask them to do like a tutorial, or maybe ask them to use this tool and you talk about it in their audio. So there where we kind of more listeners, their listeners who are typically in the audio space would uh, get to use our product, and that's why we would acquire more customers. Now, going into the monetization, how would we monetize this app is we would begin by providing like a free 10-minute, 10 projects as a free version to begin with, where content creators would be able to have 10 basic projects. And inside it, they would upload to maximum of 2 channels. When we say channels, it's basically the like Spotify, YouTube, iHeartRadio, and things like that. So at max, they would be able to publish to just 2 of them. And there's also the professional version, where they would have all these features. Along with this, they would get 2 more things, which is like unlimited access to these projects. Like they would have more than 10 unlimited amount of them, and we would remove the maximum number of channels which they could publish a specific project in, and also include monetization. So if now they want to monetize the content, they could add using this advertisement or revenue share, they could add those, and for that capability, they would need to pay for a sum of money. So from a monetization perspective, it's kind of a combination of subscriptions as well as monetization from advertisements. Now going into the revenue estimate, assuming that our MVP for the year 2021 is going to be like 3 months, we'll be developing by the end of this year. So at max, if we can expect 500,000 users, free users, and 100,000 professional users who would pay for $3 per month. So since the MVP is going to be released for 3 months, we would have 900,000 revenue. And since we also have like an advertising kind of model inside it, and let's say we take 10% share of the advertising, and assuming a 2 million advertising revenue, a total revenue would be 900,000 plus the 200,000 which we take in for the ad share, and the total revenue for year 1 would be 1 million. And expanding upon to year 2, so assuming that with all the acquisition and we acquire more customers, and it expands to around 1 million free users and 200,000 professional users who again pay $3 per month. And since this is going to be the whole year for next year, for year 2, it's going to be 12 months times $3 per month, and that's going to be 7 million totally. So going back to the ad share as well, where we have, let's say, a revenue of 10 million, which we get in through ads, and out of which, if we increase the ad share percentage by, let's say, 15%, we would get an additional revenue of 1.5 million. So totally the revenue for the second year would be around $8.7 million. Now, what does it cost to go into this market? Like any other application, we have three main costs. One is the product development cost. So how much does it take to actually ship this product? Since we're starting off with an MVP, it doesn't require like a huge cost to it. So we would need one user experience, probably one product manager, and three developers, costing a total of around a 530K per year. And the infrastructure costs, since we don't host a lot of these audio ourselves, and we only upload to other hosting platforms, our costs are less from server costs, like storing the actual audio and things like that. So our cost would be around 120K per year. And another major cost goes into marketing. So like social media marketing, running ads, speaking up to evangelists, and giving out swags. So those would cost another 100K. So total cost, considering a 9-month release to MVP, we would it would the cost for us to go to market would be around $596,000. That would be the cost to market. So now going back to pitching this as a product to an existing company, and I'm a company, I want to use this new product to expand. So Relay as a product would help new opportunities for in a fast-growing audio space for the company, and this would expand the company into this new market. And it also offers company to become like a leader in the audio publishing. Currently, there's no major platforms that exist where one company kind of is the leader in publishing, just like how we have like Medium, or um, where the document writing kind of publishing is kind of the leader in. So there's no company exists in the audio publishing space. Probably with Relay, the company could become a market leader in that. And since Relay currently uses all existing APIs and SDKs from the mobile app ecosystem, there is no additional development cost needed. We could just reuse a bunch of it, and there is no development additional. And so it makes a very low investment for the company. Probably it would need like 2 developers to work on it. Um, and it's not much of a big of a strategic investment for the company, and yeah, that they would still get the benefits of getting into this new market segment. Since Relay now is also reducing the bar for the audio space, we would as a company, we would start acquiring new customers from a new demographic, since the bar to the audio is less with our application, and hence it would increase the user base and give more market share for the company. So adding this Relay brand to the company in the set of products which they already have, the net revenue of the company by the end of 2022 would increase by 9 million, going back to the revenue which we discussed in the previous section. So this is our product, and hopefully you're interested in it, and would invest in us and to take it further ahead. Thank you very much for your time.